if you have good intentions to sort of solve a problem, I think taking the first step is very, very important. If there's 10 ways to solve this problem, if you do 9 out of 10 things in a single month,
yes,
you don't waste any more months.
Right, right.
As opposed to doing like failing 9 times in 9 months. And that is that, okay, so obviously Pakistan is a huge market, and then the world is obviously a bigger market.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन, मेरा नाम है नताशा और मैं हूँ शाम की चाय की होस्ट, जहाँ पे हम बहुत ही कूल पाकिस्तानियों की कहानियाँ आपके सामने लेकर आते हैं। हमारा ये वाला सीज़न कोलैब्स ने पावर किया है और हम पाकिस्तान के एंटरप्रेन्योर्स से, स्टार्टअप्स से और फाउंडर से बात कर रहे हैं। आज हमारे गेस्ट हैं याह्या हुमायूं। अस्सलाम वालेकुम याह्या।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
ये पैटर्न टेक्नोलॉजीज़ के co-founder and CEO हैं, and we're very excited to talk to you. And I wanted to kick it off and ask you about Pattern Technologies, why you started it, and what it does.
Thank you, Natasha, for having me. So we build technology solutions for restaurants across the world to help them acquire and retain new customers and actually help their revenue grow.
Acha.
Bilkul.
Yeah. And so why did you start? Why did you start Pattern Technologies?
Yeah, I think so. We started like around a year ago.
Acha.
What we were observing was that restaurants restaurants operate in multiple different formats.
ठीक है.
Quick service restaurants, coffee shops, cloud kitchens, and as post-COVID, dine-in was coming back.
Bilkul.
Delivery has scaled as well.
Yes.
So there's like, restaurants were growing really, really fast.
Yeah.
But then the challenges were also really new.
ठीक
So because e-commerce के अंदर इतना ज़्यादा advancement आ गई हुई है that a lot of different retail businesses use so much of technology. Meanwhile, restaurants जो हैं, they had no idea about who their customers were,
अच्छा.
how to actually grow their revenues, how to
अच्छा.
actually what their customer retention looked like,
अच्छा,
how to
अच्छा.
actually grow their customer retention.
ठीक है.
So broadly, we were seeing the same theme all over the world.
अच्छा.
Like single and multi-brand restaurants were really struggling to grow.
ठीक है.
And that's why we thought of multiple different solutions to sort of tackle that problem.
अच्छा. तो I mean और आप कितने industries choose कर सकते थे pattern technologies को, like वो solutions implement करने के लिए? आपने food industry, restaurant industry choose की पाकिस्तान में. Tell us a bit about the economics of the restaurant industry and like why you chose it.
Yeah, that's a great question. So basically, I think it's an interesting story. So when my co-founder and I, we were starting out, so what was happening here in Pakistan in front of us was that over here there's like only one delivery aggregator, and restaurants were too dependent on delivery aggregators over here.
Achha.
And then they were like, our margins are being eaten off,
Bilkul.
and then we don't know what to do.
सही है.
And then when we looked at other regions like the MENA region and the US, so the themes were consistent.
ठीक है.
So we thought about solving the problem locally. We started talking to restaurant owners. We realized that there's a huge gap. If we can empower them through technology and help them sort of take more control of their business and have like more insight into what they can do along with other powerful technology tools. It's a big problem to solve all over the world. So that's how we started. Started with Pakistan and then scaled, across the MENA region.
Okay, that's very interesting कि आपने like पाकिस्तान में आपने शुरू किया है, आप international जाना चाह रहे हैं, लेकिन पाकिस्तान की खुद की market इतनी बड़ी है, तो like what value does international bring to you? Why not just do very well in Pakistan and then not worry about going international?
Yeah, so I think so basically we launched our international vertical 3 months ago.
ठीक है.
And the reason behind that is that, okay, so obviously Pakistan is a huge market, and then the world is obviously a bigger market.
सही है.
So Pakistan के अंदर, there's so much talent, which is building great products and great solutions that are applicable, across the world. So I think it's very, very important to, build a platform. That's what we want to do. We want to like double down on building a platform where we build and solve problems locally as well as globally.
अच्छा.
So that's the plan.
reason. Now that you're deciding कि आप international जाएंगे, I'm sure जो international tech scene में like impacts होते चीजें होती है वो आपको भी impact करेगा. So tell us a bit about like last year Silicon Valley में इतना बड़ा crash हुआ था. We don't know कि future years में क्या और impact होगा. How does the international tech market impact your work and your startup?
Bilkul, I think that's a great question. So I think global trend obviously it has like a ripple effect, but there's interesting things happening in the technology space. So for example, people have become things have become really intense in terms of competition.
Okay.
So people are focusing, people are laser focused. All companies are laser focused on profitability more than ever, which is good. And so we, being in Pakistan, I think emerging markets have an inherent competitive advantage in this as well.
Yeah.
So while things are, the competition is intense, which is forcing people to become much more efficient. The emerging markets also have a competitive advantage इस चीज़ के अंदर, because all over in the first world countries, people are cutting down on costs, they're more conscious about their revenues, which then poses a huge opportunity for people in emerging markets like Pakistan to capture that there's we over here have a strategic competitive advantage of having great world-class solutions at really good prices.
Really good prices, yeah.
While companies over here can grow really well.
Yes.
While the price point being really lucrative for the Western market.
The Western market, that makes sense. You've been through so many experiences. आपने पाकिस्तान में company शुरू किया, आप internationally उसे grow कर रहे हैं. For anybody that's watching, that's an aspiring founder, I'm sure you have a plethora of advice to give them. तो आप please हमें कुछ अपनी learnings बताएं. अपने experiences के through, and what are some of the mistakes you made, and how did you learn from them?
I think, no, thank you for asking that. So, I think we've been very lucky, I would say, because we've received much more support from so many people in the ecosystem. I would say, for any aspiring founder, I think the most important part is if you have good intentions to sort of solve a problem, I think taking the first step is very important. And then so many incredible things happen when you take that first step, because there's so many, the ecosystem all over the world is very helpful.
Right.
Even the local startup ecosystem is very helpful. I would recommend reaching out to as many people as you can for advice.
Okay.
And then seeking feedback, trying to iterate. And I think never losing hope. I think a lot of people, a lot of times, there have been like so many, like hundreds of different points in time where so many people have given us great advice, which has shaped the path forward. So I think that's one learning, that you should always reach out to people to ask for help.
Yeah, for sure. हमें बताया जाता है, you fail fast and you iterate quickly.
Absolutely.
You fail करना है कोई बात नहीं. You should know right away, right? And then fix the problem and try again, and fail and then fix the problem and try again.
That's actually a very important point that you shared.
Yeah.
So ये important, I missed that. Fail करना बहुत ज़रूरी है. So for example, if there's 10 ways to solve this problem, if you do 9 out of 10 things in a single month, you don't waste any more months.
Right.
As opposed to doing failing 9 times in 9 months. So that becomes a challenge.
Yes, absolutely. तो आपने यहीं पे सुना है, fail करना बहुत ज़रूरी है. तो अगर आप fail कर रहे हैं, don't worry, but pass your exams. Don't actually fail out of school or anything like that. Honestly, thank you so much. Thank you for coming, Yahya. मैंने बहुत appreciate किया, हमारी audience ने बहुत appreciate किया, and thank you guys for watching the show. Inshallah मैं एक और episode के साथ आऊँगी. Until then, Allah Hafiz.